and he's like, all he puts on the delivery uniform. He like sneaks in, and you just hear them saying like, "Oh, the freak is back." Like,
Mm-hmm.
you've done this before, and you haven't improved your security. Welcome back to Trees in Space, the podcast where we boldly go where no reviewer has gone before, through every movie genre, fueled by fan opinion, questionable nostalgia, and our own hot takes. This week on Trees in Space, Jason and I watched the 1994 rated PG-13 comedy Airheads. I'm your host, Nate, and with me, as always, is Jason. Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Going good. I think it was an unusual pick. It was an older pick. Yeah, so I have to say that once again, my memory fails me
Well, I don't know what's going on there with this thing.
because once again, I've confused this movie with Capitol Records
Interesting.
because I know I have not seen this. I've seen this movie one time, completely forgot everything about it until I watched it. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, okay. But it was all brand new to me.
This is going to be amazing. But before we dive into this movie, why don't we go ahead and tell you all at home what this movie's about?
What's it about?
It's about three aspiring rock musicians, Chaz, Pip, and Rex, are determined to have their band's demo tape played on the air. Out of desperation, they sneak into a Los Angeles radio station, but when the manager, Milo, meets them with hostility, they resort to threatening them with realistic looking water pistols. Soon the situation escalates, and the non too bright rockers get in over their heads.
And that was the best description of this movie. It's um I'm watching this movie
Yeah.
and I'm watching all the little extras and stuff who's in this movie and I'm like, was this an Adam Sandler movie before Adam Sandler had movies? Because before it was like no, like there's Adam Sandler and he has all his people that are around him playing in
Yep.
these movies. It's like it's not a lot of them, but there's a handful that play in the other movies Adam Sandler's in. The one that's the cop with Chris Farley, he's in all of Adam Sandler's movies.
Yep.
Steve Buscemi's in all of Adam Sandler's movies.
Pretty
Maybe not
much.
all of them, but what's his name? Milo. He's been in a few of his movies. So I'm just like, did he just like these people so much that when he got famous, he invited them back to star in movies?
I don't know. Honestly, I this might be the best Adam Sandler movie ever for
Because
me.
it's not an Adam Sandler movie; it's a
It's
Brendan
not,
Fraser
yeah.
movie.
Like it's so, and it might be my favorite Steve Buscemi movie, and it may be my favorite Brendan Fraser movie. Like these three guys to me are the modern day three amigos.
Three amigos!
Like they're just so
Well,
lovable in like this angsty kind of way.
well, Adam Sandler is Adam Sandler. He plays the same freaking dude. He played who he was. I did like the one part where, the DJ guy goes, "Does that just work for him? Because he's all acting all shy, and all
Yeah,
the
the
girls are
shy
supposed to
cool.
fuck." Yeah,
Really great arms. You should definitely show them off.
How does he do that? Pip? He gets his hands on more bumper than a body shop.
With that, I seem so stupid, I must be cute routine?
That's the quiet cool. The chicks, man, they just lock on it.
and I'm like, yeah, what were, dude? Adam Sandler is not a good-looking man, but somehow, even before he was famous and he looked like that, he somehow was scoring these chicks. And
He
oh
was,
God, there's so much in this movie.
they were
But
in
go ahead.
such good shape. Like,
Yes.
because at one point, Adam Sandler is just wearing a beanie.
Hmm.
And you could just see like baby abs and the V cut. And I'm just like, God,
Yeah.
madam, like, okay.
Uh,
All
and
right.
the thing is, they never fixed the. Maybe they didn't have to, but and it just came out of nowhere for me. Was the whole he cleaned pools,
Yeah.
and later on, the cop leader
The
wife
spot.
left him or cheated on with a guy that was cleaning pools. Now, was it the same guy? Because they never really. They just kind
I
of
think
like
it's
put that in his head.
implied.
Right, but they never kind of finished, telling us.
No.
So
I thought that the girl, like, the love story was kind of interesting.
she's hot.
She's a mess.
She's a hot mess.
Yes.
But I don't blame her because if I was a girl, Brendan Fraser would have been my crush. That man's a good looking man.
Oh my God, yeah. Chester Ogilvy.
Yeah,
Um,
that was his name. Yeah, I was a dork in high school. I played D&D. I played D&D too. At the very end, is they're
yeah,
all like,
and
I wore corduroy pants.
it had the cameo of Lemmy from Motorhead saying that he was the editor of his high school
It was a
newspaper.
newspaper.
Yep.
Yes. I was editor of the school magazine. That was at the very end of the movie when which another thing that makes no sense to this movie is they kept leaving. There's a hostage situation, everyone, because that's how things get to worse. And they kept leaving the station, and the cops are still there, right around them, and they just ran back.
grab him.
And
Just freaking grab
go
him.
back in there.
They're so afraid of
You
that
know?
one gunman. That's why.
Yes. Yeah, and was Seinfeld a thing when this came out?
This was in '94. I think Seinfeld was after this movie.
Because they said featuring or also starred Michael Richards.
Yeah.
Like he was already a star at this point. And I don't know what
Yeah.
he was in before this.
He was in UHF. I know that.
Okay. That's
Um,
another movie on our watch list. And
it's a good one. It's real good.
I don't know. It's been forever since I've seen that one either, so I'm not sure if it's gonna hold up in my old man brain.
It doesn't hold up.
So it was, but go ahead. You're talking about the relationship was kind of cute, or
Yeah, but actually, I was gonna say, for the longest time, I did not know that was Steve Buscemi in this movie
oh,
for like years, like double-digit years. And
because
I would,
he
and then one day I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look up to see who the bassist is in that, and it was like Steve Buscemi. I'm like, oh my gosh, he looked good with long hair. Like,
he did. He didn't look nearly as old, and it goes with, and he might be the best actor in the film. He might be the best actual true actor in the film. I did like the special appearance of what's his name? One of the Ghostbusters.
oh,
Uh,
Sergeant Wilson,
I
Sergeant
guess
O'Donnell.
that. Yeah, not O'Donnell. Oh, there's two Ghostbusters. Sorry, there was. Yes, there's the first one was the first Ghostbuster. The second one was Harold Ramis as the fake cop. But the cop was like he was the agent. He
That
walks
was
up, so he
Harold
asks-
Ramis.
That was Harold Ramis. There's two
Oh,
Ghostbusters in this.
that's so good. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that was him.
And he goes, whose side do you take with the Van Halen thing? Van Halen or, David Lee Roth? And he goes, Van Halen, you're a cop.
All right, let me ask you a question. What side you taking the big David Lee Roth Van Halen split?
What do you mean?
What kind of question is that? What side did you take, Halen or Roth?
Van Halen. He's a cop.
And that was the DJ saying that. He's a cop.
Yeah, the DJ was the man. Ian.
I like the DJ.
Yeah, and
Milo. No, Ian. Yeah,
Ian. Yeah, station manager is Milo, and
Mhm.
when Milo or Ian found out that the station was going easy listening,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's like, "Get over here, Ian." Or Milo.
Come here. It's like, yeah. And like, fight. Stephen Machete's like, fight. That was it was a silly, stupid, just heartfelt movie. There was nothing evil or really bad about it,
No, Adam Sandler's character Pip was a very just sweet, dumb kid. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to be nice to everybody. And he asked the one black woman, "Why don't black people like me?"
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like,
And he-
I don't
I
know.
like you. He goes, I know, I know, I'm not trying to compare, but when you walk into a store and everybody just stares at you, you think you're stealing something, and she's like, "That's never happened to me."
Has that happened to you?
It's like, "Has that happened to you?" It's like, maybe it's not what we think it is. What was the quotable thing? There was a few things that Steve Buscemi said that I was like, oh, I remember people saying that a lot, like because it was a popular thing in like the late '80s, early '90s. The certain things he was saying, like the hole under your nose, things of that sort. Talking about someone's mouth, if you don't shut the hole under your nose or something like that.
Oh,
Um, but it was I mean, I went in there. It's like, when does Live Taylor show up? I forgot. Liv Taylor, whatever her name is.
yeah.
But,
Um,
go ahead.
the when he's at the record A label in the beginning of the movie, and he's like, all he puts on the delivery uniform, he like sneaks in, and you just hear them saying like, "Oh, the freak is back." Like,
Mm-hmm.
you've done this before, and you haven't improved your security. Like,
And he did it very well.
yeah, real good.
And then it was Judd Nelson, right? Judd Nelson, who was the guy from the Breakfast Club with
Oh,
the freaking whatever the heck this is. What is that? Just a
the top,
slaver saver?
yeah, a top.
It was looked so bad on him.
He looked
And
like a prick record executive.
he did, and he's like, if I don't have whatever, I can't even look at it or something like that. And then all of a sudden, Chaz knows about that, so he's saying, "Hey, we can't, we got to have them come to us with whatever it's called.
Yeah,
What was it called?
we can't do solicitation or something like that.
Yes, it's like you can't
Unsolicited.
just, yes, it can't be us. They got to come to us. We can't just, have it forced to us or whatever." And they're like, "Hey, you got everybody listening. What do you want to tell them?" And Steve Buscemi's like, "Why do you put him on the spot like that? You think he's Sting? You want him to go on a monologue?" Because we will say, rock and roll. Really? That's what you're going to say? The whole world's listening and you say rock and roll?
Uh, the I the is it Jimmy Wig? I believe is his name. When they pan to him and his assistant, and he's in there, and he's like, "Man, they're gonna be huge." And he had just heard like that little tidbit, but like he knew like these guys were gonna be big. So then when he actually showed up, like to me, I believed him when he's like, "I heard it on the radio." Like, oh, that's all I needed to
Mm,
hear.
yeah.
Like,
Even though he didn't hear it all because it came back and, well, I haven't played it yet. It was disconnected. It made him so mad.
he wiped his ass with his record deal.
He did. But,
Love
it's weird
this
because
guy.
yesterday or the day before or something, you were talking about cassette tapes.
Yes.
How indestructible they are. And I'm
Yes.
wondering if because you remember this movie and that's why you remember them being so indestructible. It's weird
Totally
how that
forgot
came
about
up.
it. Totally
Yeah.
forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, this actually advocates my thing for cassette tapes. Actually, I had mentioned
Yeah.
this at the restaurant Wednesday night. I was like, because her card was a cassette tape. I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Hmm.
I shared the story, and
Yeah.
but yeah,
Because I have every belief that when that cassette tape was on the ground, that car was bouncing on. I believe with all my heart and soul that was an actual cassette, that
yeah,
was an actual car jumping up and down on it, and it wasn't breaking. I believe it without a doubt.
I agree.
And then they got pissed on by the dog. Like, it's like, what'd you do? You took care of it. It's like, this smells like piss. I'm never talking about it because I'm liking this more and more the more we talk about it because it was very. I don't know what I was expecting because I guess because I went into this, thinking certain parts of this movie was going to happen. They didn't. I'm like, oh, that's the other movie. So I have to, you know what I mean? Changing my brain about watching this thing, expecting certain things when it wasn't.
I can understand that. I realized that I absolutely adore this film.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
I've watched it so many times. Um, but you got anything else?
I was just gonna say one thing that it kind of reminds me of something Kevin Smith might do.
Yeah,
A
I could see that.
uh, a a Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob type movie.
Hmm.
Them going in there accidentally, but instead of being music, being something else like the weed they were selling or something. A little change to it, but it's a simple movie though.
Yeah. All right. Well, you heard us talk about this movie. Why don't we go ahead and get into the 5-star and 1-star and less reviews? The first 5-star review comes from Heather G. This movie is hilarious, mostly because the quality of the acting. It is a great watch when you need a pick-me-up. Oscar winner Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler lead the cast in an absurd concept that is well executed by the cast.
I agree. I think it was well executed. I think it made people that were 20, 21 years old back in the day think they could just commandeer a radio station and not go to, I guess they did go to prison at the end.
They did.
But, not getting more, what was it, 4 years? It's like not nowadays. They're going to prison for a long time.
With
Terrorist.
plastic pepper laced guns or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, and they don't make guns like that look realistic anymore. So
They don't.
And I thought Brendan Fraser was great because some things he did remind me a lot of him in The Mummy when he goes, he just has a certain kind of wonderfulness to him. But the first 1-star review comes from JH. I can't believe I liked this when it was released. Of course, I was 21 and I liked everything.
This movie came in 94. I was 10, 11 when I watched this movie for the first time.
I was older than this guy.
The next 5-star review comes from Jeff G. All-star cast, legendary joke to exposition ratio caught a bad rap because most critics are cynic a-holes.
Maybe so. I mean, 94. I wonder what won the picture of the year that year. What won the award? It was a sweet film. So I like it. I like his ratio logic.
Mm.
The next 1-star review comes from the most popular reviewer in Rotten Tomatoes, and that's Unknown. Must have been an inspiration of the writer's brain capacity.
Hey, you know what? If that's what that writer's brain capacity is, it's more than what I got. He wrote a movie and it got made. It made at least $1 million. So, say he's doing pretty good.
I think it was pretty popular when it came out. It's pretty well known.
We'll see. The last 5-star review comes from Unknown. Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler in a should-be classic comedy. This movie is so underrated. Watch it for what it is, a fun rock comedy with some great quotes and funny characters. Great.
And he's not wrong. And the thing is, there's nothing really obscene in this movie. Like you're like, oh, your kid shouldn't watch this. Nothing I can think of that was like really bad. I mean, them two, playing Scrabble on the couch with the guy hiding behind it. That's one thing. But no boobs were shown. No bad words were really said. I mean, a couple cuss words here and there. But it was you could see this on like, as I said this before, TBS on Friday night.
Yeah, it's a clean PG-13.
Yeah, it is. I think it's only 13 because of the gunfire.
Yeah, probably.
The last 1-star review comes from, once more, Unknown. Airheads is one of the laziest and worst comedies I have ever seen. It doesn't even try to bring out some laughs. While every performance was impressive, but every joke was just like getting sucker punched in the face because of its low jokes. So this gentleman is saying that the acting was great and the script was shit. That's all I had to say.
I disagree. Clearly, because this is one of my favorite films.
You're brave because I don't want to put my favorite films up here in case you shit all over them.
The WTF comes from an unknown. It was a 2-star, came in January 24th of 2010. My friend Jane, who lives in Canberra, she loved this movie.
What was it? My friend Jane, who lives in Canberra, she loved this movie.
Yep.
That's in Australia, everyone, in case y'all didn't know. Matter of fact, it's the capital of Australia.
Oh.
Yeah.
We talked about the movie. We heard from the audience about what they thought about this movie. Now, let's see what Rotten Tomatoes and the audience scored this movie. All right. The critics, them pack of assholes, rated this movie at 29%, while you, at home, the audience, another pack of assholes, graded it at 50%.
I can see that being a 50%. It's a very decisive movie, I guess, like for audiences. It's like you're really gonna like it, or you just ain't gonna like it at all. You
Yeah.
know. And critics, like the guy said, like you said, pack of rabid a-holes.
Yep. Well, now you all get to hear what we rate this movie. I'll kick us off first. I would absolutely recommend this movie to my surgeon. I'd recommend this movie to anybody. I freaking love this movie. Brendan Fraser is a complete believable lead guitarist slash singer. Steve Buscemi plays the role of a bass guitarist, how a bass guitarist would be. Pip, the drummer, same. They fit their stereotypical builds of that time for a band. The rock and roll girlfriend, you know, um, the the club scene. I loved when Chris Farley improvised and pulled the dude's nipple ring out. Um, I loved how ridiculous that these guys were able to come and go out of this building, and not one cop or any plan was to try to like secure. I don't know how it was possible for them to monitor all the doors, and like they could have very easily broken into this building. All that aside, I still absolutely adore this film. I will give this movie, don't judge me, Jason, 4 trees.
Now it's my turn.
I was sweating because I thought you were gonna go with the pinnacle, and you didn't. So good man.
No, it's
Um,
not that high.
I would recommend it to my surgeon because I think it's a cute movie. I think it's a clean movie. I'm gonna say I think Brendan Fraser did a great job leading this movie. He's very believable. Steve Buscemi. Say his name.
Buscemi?
Buscemi is wonderful in almost everything he does. I don't like Adam Sandler in anything he ever does. I don't like anything. I like other movies he's in. They're kind of funny, but he's like Will Ferrell for me.
Mm.
And I'm just like, but he was perfect in this part. It's um I thought, like you said, Ian, Joe Montego, whatever his name is, I can't remember that now. He's excellent. Uh, I did not like the scene where Milo's tied up in the closet and he's trying to open up the door with his mouth and making that noise that just, I mean, I was like, would you please stop? Would you please stop? I had to mute oh my God, that was a nightmare. I know it was 94, kind of the end of the rock scene. Nirvana was getting big, whatever. So, um, but I thought it was fine. I mean, it's not one of my favorites. I appreciate it a lot more than now than I did when I finished watching it by talking to you and remembering about it. Um, so I'm gonna go lower than you. I'm gonna agree with the audience here on this. I'm one of those audience folks, and I'm gonna give it. You know what? I'm gonna give it 3 trees.
Hey, that's fair. I still think we came up higher than the audience and the critics, but hey, what can you say? I'm a little biased. I love this movie. I've seen it clear more than any other movie I've ever watched in my entire life. I've seen this one and The Sandlot. So the two movies I've ever seen the most of. But hey, tell us what you thought about this movie down below. Give us a comment, give a like, a subscribe, share it with your friends or your family. We love doing it and we love to hear from you. Until Monday, we'll see you soon on Trees in Space. Take care, everybody.